Love you, bro.
Okay, so what are we looking at? Silver bullet?
So this is silver bullet. The reason it's called silver bullet is because we renamed it, because silver bullet means solution to a bunch of difficult problems. So, and that's what electric cars and solar power are. The solution to all our environmental challenges, our economical challenges, our social challenges, and national security that we're seeking, and all that good stuff. So we're telling everybody to build your electric car or go buy an electric car and plug it into your solar power house. Right?
So you built this car yourself?
Yes, me and my friends at Higgins Club. So it was a 1984 Pontiac Fiero. We converted into its 30-year-old car. Can you believe that? Cute little thing.
Amazing.
It runs on a DC battery. I mean DC batteries plus DC motor. Shall we take a look under the hood?
We shall.
So, the first thing, we got to check out the gas cap. That's what it's all about. The gas cap right here. Oh, okay. You want to do that first?
No, I just filmed it.
No, okay.
So the gas cap.
This is the gas cap. Well, no, formerly gas cap. Now it's a plug cap. So we just plug the J1772, which is the standard for public charge stations. We plug it right there. Needs a little wash. Isn't that cool?
Very cool.
Very cool. So, and then this is the trunk. Oops, let me get my stuff out of there. And so we have 45 cells, 3.2 volts each in this car. Nominal 3.2, it goes up to 3.5 volts. And back here, 16 cells right here. These are called cells. Technically, they're not batteries. Series of batteries are called, cells are called batteries. And 16 there. 9 cells over here, 9 here, 3 there. This is the charger that charges the car, 5 kilowatt watt charger. And that's a little 12 volt battery that runs, all the electrical stuff runs on this beside the motor. The motor is the only thing that runs on these, the big battery pack. It's called the main pack, battery pack. And at 144 volts, since it doesn't have an alternator, we're using a DC-DC converter, which is over there. And that DC-DC converter converts this 144 volts into 12 volts and power this up because it doesn't have a alternator. So this gets charged up by the main pack. And so maybe you want to check out the tailpipes. The tailpipes,
no pollution, right?
no more. No pollution. That was some real quick idea. Smarty. So under the hood, we have the DC 120 volt DC motor, and more cells. There are 8 cells in the front. The 45 cells are spread out everywhere. And in fact, I'm going to add one more cell over there make it 46 cells. It's going to give another 5 to 10 miles range. And switch and reverse and forward is right there. This changes the polarity with the switch, so you can go in reverse or forward. And the on-off switch is right there, plus the DC motor. Bada bing.
And the DC motor reverses directions, and that's how you reverse or change direction.
Exactly. See, with a gasoline car, you need to use the transmission to put it in forward or reverse. The motor doesn't change the direction. It's just you change the direction of the wheels by the transmission. With this car, it's by the motor. When you reverse the polarities on the motor, it goes the other direction. So,
Wow. Outstanding. And your range on this is approximately?
90 to 100 miles, depending on the train. If it's a lot uphill, if it's gun it a lot, if you punch in the accelerator, we can't call it the gas pedal because there's no gas. So accelerator pedal, A pedal, if you will. If you punch it a lot, then you can. If you're in the city, since you take off and stop a lot, you're wasting a lot of energy. So between 90 to 100 mile range.
How long does it take to charge it?
Depending on whether it's 220 volts, 110 volts, depending on the amperage that's pulling. So at 220, if it's dead empty, it could take 4 hours, but I never let it go that empty. So maybe like 3 hours, 3 to 4, 3 hours is typical at 220.
Excellent.
And sometimes you just want to top it off. It's kind of like putting gasoline in the car. If you just got a quarter tank, so you just put a quarter tank in there. So with this, the same thing. It's got a gauge in there that we'll see in a minute when we go for a ride. And the gauge tells you how much amp hours you're using, what's the voltage of the pack, and how many amps you use at the same time. So instead of gasoline and gallon, what you're doing is you're dealing with voltage, amps, and kilowatts, and that's what's in the Tesla. You're using how many kilowatts of energy you're using. Just like you get your electric bill, it rates it with kilowatt hours.
What is the maximum kilowatt hour that you can store?
There's a 24 kilowatt
Capacity.
hour pack. Yes. Because you take the voltage multiplied by the current. There's a little quick electric formula for you. Kilowatt equals amps multiply voltage. You get the kilowatts hours.
Wow. Outstanding. Okay, so we're gonna go for a ride.
Let us go. These guys in there, and that little trunk over here. Come on in.
Crank it up. Let me see how it sounds.
There is no sound. Oh, the only thing I forgot to tell you, there is a little compressor. Oh, hold on. The only sound you're going to hear is this little compressor because it has power brakes, and in reverse, there's a little compressor right there. It's because you don't have vacuum pumps or vacuum in the car, like gasoline cars do. So that creates it's for the power brake. Yeah, there's a little sound that comes from there. Otherwise, when the motor is on, there's no sound. So
neat.
So, whoa! I used 105 amp hours coming here. 105 amp hours. Amps times, so.
And how far did you drive?
Maximum it can go. These cells are rated at 160 amp hours, but it goes up to 180 amp hours. So the motor is on right now. Can you hear?
Can barely hear anything.
There is no noise. So
Okay.
I like to charge this. I don't like to use more than 140 amp hours, 150, maximum 140 amp hours really. So we use the 105 amp hours, just coming over here and drive a little around my town. And so we're gonna plug it in after we go for a little quick ride. So ready?
I'm ready.
No cops again. Seatbelts on off. Walter Davis.
Okay.
Still recording, huh? Okay. So you can tell how many amp hours we're using. We set it at 0. This is time, and this is the amps, and this is voltage. But this one is for the 12 volt battery. Okay, ready?
I'm ready.
Reverse and forward. Then that's a reverse and forward button right there. It just reverses the polarity on the motor.
Kind of like an Edsel.
Ready?
There we go. Wow. It's got a nice pickup. Wow. How cool.
45-mile-an-hour speed limit.
Do you have a speedometer in here?
Yes, we're going 30 miles an hour right now. We were going 42. It goes up to 70. I just was doing 70, 65, 70 coming here on the freeway.
So when you take your foot off the accelerator, it starts making like a little noise, I hear.
Yeah, it's the motor winding up or winding down. And
I see.
oh, it's beautiful out here.
And we're in an electric car and it's so cool. Wow, I love it. Sounds like a Batmobile.
Yeah, the one right now they're scheduling a Formula E race. You know, Formula One racing. This is Formula E for all the electric cars. It's happening. They're putting up that race in 5 or 6 cities around the world. LA, New York, in Shanghai, London, I think in Italy. So it's all electric car races. All electric cars are going to be racing around the city,
Wow.
the various cities. Formula E coming to city near you this summer, and they're getting more and more popular. People are seeing the destruction of fossil fuel, destruction of our environment, our economy, our political system. So this madness has to stop, and the solution is renewable energy, really solar power and electric cars. If you want to get out of the clinch of the oil and coal companies, you want to be independent, truly, get an electric car, put solar power on your house, and boom, you're independent. No more of that crazy thing. And my suggestion to all the oil and coal companies is to start investing in renewable energy if you want to be around in 20 years from now. Otherwise, you'll be history. You'll be as relevant as a typewriter.
Or as a horse and buggy.
Exactly, as a horse and buggy in 2014.
Can you give Nilsa a ride too?
Yes. Would you like to
Yes.
switch? Yeah.
Excellent.
I am Farhad. Welcome to great. Ready?
Yeah. Yes.
15 miles. So this is the same thing. You can tell how much electricity you're using instantly. Like this goes up to 500 amps. If I'm taking off from bottom of the hill, it's sucking
Oh, the
up
electricity.
500 amps
Yeah.
instantly. Or right now we're just parking. We were using 1.5, as you can see, it's 1.5 amps, just by the little bit of electricity that's using from these gauges.
Wow.
And the electric, my foot was on the brake, and the brake light and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But
Oh, it's fantastic.
yeah, that's on that Jeep that I was telling you, my son's Jeep. It would show how much gas you're using at any given moment. And this is the same thing. We're just using electrons. Isn't it?
Yeah. Instead of
Yeah.
that is fantastic. I really like this. This is kind of like what Walter was talking about savings and greens and the electricity.
Yeah.
All the ways you spend
This
time
is,
with it.
I know that's why we became friends, because
I see that.
we have the same philosophy. We gotta leave a mark on this planet. Do something.
Yeah, no, you're
It's-
right.
Leave your mark. Just beside just
This is fantastic. I really like it.
things.
Better than gas.
Oh yeah, much
This is
better.
fantastic.
It's much more efficient, and as you can see, we're getting energy bombarded by the sun. We got a
Yes.
nuclear power plant in the space.
Well, I mean, we saw that movie, Who Destroyed the Electric Car, and they had batteries that could go hundreds of miles years ago, but they were destroyed.
They were bought out by Chevron, and they put it. That's right. They bought that technology, that invention, was bought out by Chevron, and they put it in the vault because they're sitting on $1 trillion worth of oil.
That's right.
So they don't want to improve the environment and economy. They want that
Profit.
centralization of power, because if that's right, crazy amount of profit. I mean, we're talking the most profitable industry in the human human history, and they're still getting $40 billion a year in subsidies from the government. Why the heck are they getting subsidies for? They're the most profitable and most destructive industry on the planet.
That's right.
So why are we subsidizing them for? Number one. Number two, why don't we charge them, put a tax on them in addition to not giving them subsidies? We should put a tax on gasoline for environmental damages.
And for our military protecting them.
Military protecting, we're spending $1 trillion to, what do they call it, for our national interest, to go to wars. How many thousands and tens of thousands of people have got killed? In some estimates, people are saying hundreds of thousands of people for oil. So we can go from here to there, And meanwhile, we got electric technology that we can go powered by sun or wind to go travel around coast to coast. Tesla is doing that right now. You can go from coast to coast with a Tesla. Of course, if you got the money to buy the Tesla, $80,000 for $90,000 for a car, it's nice. It's the best car by far out there. But even a regular garage conversion like Silver Bullet, just amateurs putting this thing together, we can go 90 miles to 100 miles on a single charge and plug it into the solar powered house. Run on this.
Awesome, huh?
That's right. Somebody was singing "Driving on Sunshine" for me the other day. Driving on sunshine, yeah. So that's our advice to people: get with it. Especially, I'm talking directly to the oil and coal companies, executives. Get in with the new program, or you'll be history. You'll go towards your
Horse and
product.
buggy.
Dinosaurs, exactly. We're just talking about that. If these guys don't change, they're gonna be as relevant as a typewriter.
Yeah.
It was relevant at one point. Gas and oil and coal, they've been relevant. They've got us to where we're at right now. But it's time to move on. It's time to, with the new technologies here and now, we've got to use it for our health, for our economy, for the environment, for our social status around the world. We need the new technology,
That's right.
and together we're going to do it. We are doing it. It's just It's an uphill battle with this misleading advertising out there, campaigns that the oil and coal companies that are doing, totally misleading. You know, there is no such a thing as clean coal. There is no such a thing as clean gasoline or safe drilling. The oceans are getting ruined. The beaches are ruined. The air, there's poison in the air. We're breathing poison. There are 2 billion cars that are spewing poison out of their tailpipe in the air. And we're breathing that. That's not healthy, you know? So that's where we got to move on. The new technology.
Awesome. I can't wait to see you just.
All right, we're gonna plug in silver bullet. Okay, we can just put it here. And to the other end of this, let's plug into the charger. There we go. And it's on. Now you're going to see, look at the amp meter. You see? Look at the amp meter. See, it's starting to suck current out of the wall. You see how it's going up? It went from 0 to 10, 11, oh, well, 11.1 amps, 11.2 amps. So it's taking 11.2 amps right there. And in the next couple hours, it's very small at the shop, or 220 volts. It takes up to 34 amps, which is much faster since this is a 110 volts. It's taking 11 amps. Take a while. Pretty simple technology. Or just put it on this side. Now with the other plug. Now this is what I want to do. Well, I want to turn the tailpipes. My next project is to turn the tailpipes into a plug. So instead of plugging it here and there, it's going to have 110 volts or 220 volts right here in the cap. That's it. I'm going to turn that into a cap. Open this up. Turn it into a plug. Plug and go. And at public charge stations, we'll plug it right there into the gas cap, formerly gas cap, the J1772 plug.
Perfect.
Go out there and get your electric car, guys. Everybody.
And you are president of?
Solar Saves America.
And you're also part of the Electric Vehicle Association, correct?
Yes, Electric Vehicle Association of San Diego. It's a national organization, and also the Kick Gas Club. Kick Gas Club, actually, but it is a Kick Gas Club. That's right, a bunch of EV enthusiasts, electric vehicle enthusiasts. We've converted motorcycles, cars, trucks, and I know somebody that converted a boat into an electric boat. So as long as it turns, you can turn it into an electric boat.
Excellent.